Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Student Corner. And in today's video I thought why not do something special. And today I thought no cooking, no traveling, nothing, just gonna sit at home, relax and do a video with you guys. So how to reduce your anxiety. Now, this is a very popular issue in our community, and a lot of your loved ones. I know there's probably somebody out there. I myself um, go through this issue of anxiety, and sometimes we find it really challenging to get the help we need. We all know as society is moving forward, we all want to be successful. Um, we're moving up in life, we're getting there where we want to be, but one thing we always forget is our health. That always seems to never be the focus for anybody, and it's so important that we since there's so many diagnoses that are coming out there, it's rather very important that you take care of your health, you take care of that loved ones that's going through any mental health, as we know that the brain is a very important organ in our body, and it helps us mostly do every function that we can do in our everyday life. Without our brain, we'll just be senseless organs, almost like amoeba. So we will have no sense of reaction, no sense of emotions, nothing, will be just um, completely blank. So it's very important that we take care of our brain. So we all know that my channel is called Student Corner. I'm a student as well. I'm currently studying in psychology, so I have some idea on how we can tackle anxiety. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today in this video. I'm going to be sharing some tips that I use in my life and I have learned about, studied about, that can help you as well fight your anxiety. I know there are a lot of people that don't want to take medication. I mean, medication is great, of course. Science is evolving, as we all know, it's succeeding in various aspects, such as medication, for instance. Medication is very important, and if you're the individual that does not want to take medication, I totally understand that, and you want to do something else, then this is the video for you, because I'll give you some tips that does not involve you to take any medication or prescription. Um, so before we start on the tips, I would like to tell you a little background of what anxiety is. I know anxiety, you might all know what anxiety is, and it's very different in many people, but anxiety is generally a state of being hyperactive. Your brain is constantly in rapid fire mode, where you're constantly thinking of thoughts, and it's a state of being fearful. Your amygdala, which is, we all know, is part of the brain, which is always active in your fear component, and that's what anxiety leads to. You're always fearful, your thoughts are very fearful, and you're just scared of what might not even be true, and you're restless, you're not sleeping well, and you're always in a hyperactive state. That's very common signs of anxiety. And for that, I would like to say that tip number one, we want to involve our brain, because we know that our brain has various sections. It has a hippocampus, it has a prefrontal cortex, which is where we store our education and our knowledge. And then the hippocampus is where we make new memories. We store new information, we store events, and there is many other organs like the cerebellum, which controls our movement that we do, general movements. So it's really important that we find ways to keep all our other parts of our brain active as well. So we want to not only keep the amygdala active, in our brain, which is our fear component, but we want to keep other organs in our brain active as well. And in order to do that, it's very important that you have a healthy lifestyle, you're organized, you're punctual. And when I say organized and punctual, I mean that you know how to um, organize your life, have a schedule. Sometimes in life there's so many events going on at one time. Sometimes you feel like you might burden your brain too much than it can handle. So in order to stop doing that, which I was one individual that I used to just pile up all my tasks that I needed to do in the day in my brain, and it was just kind of deteriorating me, making me restless, making me anxious, which is results to anxiety. So is to create a schedule, write down all the tasks I need to do for the day, and that helped me not burden my brain too much, keep my brain relaxed. Because in order for you to not be anxious, leading to anxiety, you need to keep your brain calm. And it's very important that you find ways where you have a balance. That's my second one. So find a balance in life. Know that don't burden yourself too much with one task, and just create a balance. So we know that as students, especially I'm a student, so there are a lot of assignments, you have to study a lot. Yes, it's very competitive, I get it. You want to be on the top and you want to compete and get your career started, which is totally understandable. But at the same time, you cannot always just study, which I was doing as well. And that was leading me to having sleeping problems. That was leading me to being more fearful. Oh my gosh, if I don't study, I'm not gonna pass. I'm just gonna fail that exam. I'm just gonna fail that assignment. And that's what slowly started to lead to my anxiety. And on top of that, when it was test day, this is also one more sign of anxiety I didn't mention. Your brain just shuts off sometimes out of nowhere. So it just stops working. It doesn't want to function anymore. And that is because you sometimes burden your brain too much in thoughts that are unnecessary. And that is what anxiety is. You're thinking about elements that are necessarily don't need your focus, don't need your attention, but you're just overwhelmed by them. So that's why your brain just gets tired. And when it's time to work, when you're doing that exam, you studied all night, you studied days before this exam, and when the exam is in front of you, you just go blank. And that is the reason why you go blank. That you have an organized schedule, you don't burden your brain too much. You learn to have a balance. Have a balance in your friend life, don't let that overwhelm you. Have a balance in your study life, don't always study. Find time to go out and play. We have always heard that term, that go out and play. Yes, please do that. Be active. Go out, find an activity that makes you feel better. Be in an environment that reduces your stress, because reducing your stress also links in helping improve your anxiety. It's all linked, everything is linked. And eat healthy, of course. It's very, very important to have a healthy diet. With that being said, because a lot of students these days think it's good to starve themselves. They don't take the liquids they need, they don't eat the food they need, and that also leads to the brain not functioning healthy. And when the brain doesn't function healthy, it may overwhelm one section of the brain compared to all the rest. Because when you want your brain to be healthy and working fine, all the functions should work properly. They should all work together. If one is overwhelmed, for example your amygdala, which is your fear, like I mentioned earlier, then it's just not healthy. And in order to that, you need to be healthy. My tip is always keep your brain moisturized, not by having Coke, Pepsi. I mean, you can do that, but it's better that you go with water, just plain water. Drink lots of water and keep your brain hydrated all the time, especially students. I recommend should always have a good amount of water in their diet. Okay, and tip number 3, links to my second tip to create a balance, is to be active, meaning not constantly being in the same environment. That could feel overwhelming for the brain, trying to be in a different environment. Maybe today not want to study in your room, maybe go outside in the close by cafe or something, and you can study there with your friends, or you can study alone. Try new things, try to challenge your brain in a healthy way, which builds try confidence in yourself, and that also eliminates your fear. It shuts it down. It doesn't let it be overwhelmed when you try new things that you have never done before. Meet new people or go to new places, do something that you have never done before and you were fearful of doing. So that also helps a lot with your anxiety. My last tip would be to stop taking unhealthy elements or eliminating those unhealthy elements. And what I mean by that is, one big one we all know, we're all aware of, is substance abuse. We all think that taking drugs or taking elements that keep you always high is going to reduce your anxiety, is going to make you forget about being anxious and give you confidence. No, natural confidence is when you do things out of your comfort zone. That's one thing that leads to being confident in yourself, reducing your fear component, like I mentioned earlier. Substance abuse may eliminate the effects. I know people have their reasons why they do substance abuse, but research, I'll be honest, research says that substance abuse is very, very harmful, and it's not good for your organs, it's not good for your brain, it's damaging to the tissues. So it might stop the effect for a bit, but if it's just gonna, but what happens is because when you take drugs, if nobody knows, the dopamine component in your brain gets activated, it gets overactivated, and when it does that, your amygdala is still active, your anxiety is still there, but the dopamine is just too active, so your brain is focusing on that component of your brain. It's just being happy. Dopamine is a happy chemical. We all have it, it's natural, but some people overburden themselves by doing substance abuse, and that is also damaging to the brain, because everything we should take in a balance. If we overdo something, it can be harmful than benefit. So this is one thing where people, I don't think so, understand that substance abuse does not give you any benefit. It just increases the level of dopamine in your brain. And with that being said, your amygdala is still firing like crazy. There are thoughts going here and there. You're super active, but that area has just become numb for a little while because it's focusing on the dopamine. You just want to feel good. Even that is not really good, because you're gonna be acting really irrational. So the best advice is not to think that substance abuse is the answer. If you need substance abuse if you need substance abuse to help your anxiety, I would just recommend medication. Go to your doctor, go to your psychiatrist, get the medication you need. But thinking drugs is an answer, it's not an answer. It's still there, and you will notice that cause increasing level of dopamine. You will notice that over time your anxiety level is not decreasing, it's just gonna increase. And when the substance abuse effect wears off, or when your dopamine levels get back to normal, you are gonna be at a much danger risk. Your brain is gonna be overloaded with all that anxiety, and you just want to do that, take that substance again. So it's not helping, it's not stopping it. And we want to be healthy individuals. We want to help our community, get everybody safe, get our loved ones safe. And in order to do that, we should just eliminate that out of our life if we can. I mean, for some people, it can be very hard, it can be very challenging. And for that, there is help guidelines in your community that you can go for. And I would definitely recommend that for whoever is suffering through substance abuse. Please, please, substance abuse is not an answer. And if you're somebody that has not gone into this, please stay away from this. It's not an answer to anything. There are so many healthy ways that you can help yourself be happy, increase your dopamine level as well. Some people want to take substance abuse because they feel that they don't have enough dopamine. No, it's not true. Everybody has the same amount of dopamine, but it's the way you activate it. So everybody has a way that they're gonna activate that happy chemical in their brain, where it won't lead to depression, where it won't lead to anxiety. So in general, these are some tips that I have started doing in my life. There's many more tips, I know there are, and there's many more signs of anxiety. I might not even have listed them in this video, but if you are somebody who is dealing with anxiety, you can please help me out, list some side effects or list some benefits that have helped you deal with your anxiety, and help others out at this channel, at my channel. So like I said, please subscribe, please like. Hopefully you like this video, and hopefully these tips help you in any way. Please let me know if they have, and thank you for watching. So some of the ways that I stay active is I go on walks, and I try to help around the house. I clean, I try to keep myself busy. I don't let myself dwell into thoughts that are unnecessary. I don't keep my brain free, because that's when your brain wanders and goes into the daydream stage where you think of random thoughts, and that can actually lead to a lot of fear. It could be fearful thoughts, it could be not good thoughts, it could just overload your brain, and that's obviously not healthy, as we all know. So, and if you're somebody that can go to the gym, I would definitely recommend going to the gym. I don't personally like going to the gym. I like to be more with nature. I'm very nature loving. I like to stay connected to nature, so I like to do stuff that I can do outside. Tasks that I can be with nature. Go to the beach, or go to a park, or do walks in my neighborhood where I'm connected with various people and with my environment.